School kids learn about homonyms, words that are spelled and sound the same but have different meanings. For instance, B-O-O-K. You read a book and book a reservation. Now President Trump is seizing on homonyms for political purposes to bring back names his predecessor removed because they were linked to the Confederacy. Jim Axelrod has tonight's Eye on America.
For the second time in less than 2 years, the largest U.S. military base has a new name.
Today we honor a hero worthy of the name Bragg.
The new name is also its old name, Fort Bragg, which for more than a century honored General Braxton Bragg, a Confederate general and slave owner. A ceremony in 2023 changed Fort Bragg to Fort Liberty. Then, last fall,
should we change the name from Fort Liberty back to Fort Bragg?
Donald Trump made a promise that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth kept.
That's right. Bragg is back.
But not that Bragg. The Army found a much more palatable one. Private First Class Roland L. Bragg, a World War II Silver Star and Purple Heart recipient.
At first I thought it was a joke.
Rebecca Amirpour and Jennifer Bell are Roland Bragg's granddaughters and plenty proud of their grandpa.
But if his name was Roland Jones,
right.
I don't think we'd be sitting here.
No, we wouldn't.
While the military also sees Bragg as a brand, a place where some of the nation's fiercest warriors trained, it doesn't see any issue in the workaround that preserves the Bragg name. Gregory Anderson is the fort's commanding general.
To the extent that this was a painful name for people, what do you say to them?
Roland L. Bragg is someone that they can be proud of.
Do you feel it all used or manipulated?
I went through some different thoughts about it. I feel like using our grandfather's name is a way of bringing it back in a respectful way.
It's an absolute loophole.
Steve Moore's family is on the other end of the Army's renaming decision.
When I look back to my grandfather, between him, my father, myself, and my brother, we've got 110 years of service.
They were busting their buttons 2 years ago when the Pentagon changed Fort Benning, also named for a Confederate general, to Fort Moore. For both their father,
I have 2 battalions on this valley.
Lieutenant General Harold Moore, a highly decorated 32-year infantry commander, and their mother, Julia.
When your family found out that the original Fort Benning was going to become Fort Moore,
I broke down and cried. Not because it was going to be named after Dad, but finally the Army was going to recognize the value of the military spouse.
But now, that too is being reversed and renamed for a corporal, Fred Benning, who served with honor for a couple of years during the First World War.
When I compare his short service in World War I to Mom and Dad's lifetime of service and everything they did and influenced, I have to ask the question, why?
There is no answer that will satisfy the family of Hal and Julia Moore, whose lifetime of valor and service to the Army lost out to a soldier who had one thing they did not: the right last name. For Eye on America, I'm Jim Axelrod in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Forts Hood, Bragg, and Benning were among 9 military installations with names linked to the Confederacy that were renamed in 2023.